Hey everybody, this is Dan Wagner from Ticking Coupons, and what we're going to do is look at a quick prospecting script. And really, the goal of a prospecting script is to get through the prospect as quickly as you can and discover whether or not they are actually going to be a customer. Because you don't want to waste any more time than is absolutely necessary to find out if someone's going to be a good customer. So that's what we want to do. We want to basically filter through it. Now, here's a great analogy that I learned: is prospecting is much like shrimp boating. And what they do in shrimp boating is they put the big net down and they pull it up out of the water, and then they empty everything onto the deck. And they don't go through it and pick out the shrimp. They actually go through and pick out everything that's not a shrimp. And that's what we want to do today is we want to shrimp boat for prospects for Ticking Coupons. Now, by the way, this prospecting technique can be used for any offline marketing at all. So let's go through it though. And what I have here is a mind map, and I'm just going to walk through the mind map. And so it might get a little ugly, but I think we'll all get the hang of it here. So it just starts out. It starts out with this simple script. Hi, John. Hi, Fred. Am I calling it a bad time? And, a lot of people say, oh, that's so negative. But remember, we're trying to get rid of the bad prospects. And the way we do that is to give them every single possible opportunity to get out. And not only that, people aren't used to this. And so there's going to be a little bit of a, well, okay, I guess, yeah, I'm okay. And what you'll really get, most of the time, you'll get someone who's just curious enough to find out what you're so eager to move on to the next guy for. And so what you'll hear is, it's not a great time, but what do you got? And that's what you're going to hear. So the next, and so what we're going to do is, if it's a bad time, and this is on the phone, say, sorry, I'll call back later, and just hang up. Don't, who's calling? You don't want to hear any of that. And the reason why we do that is we want to disassociate our product, us, from um, from this bad experience. They're having a bad day. We just asked them, are they having a bad day? And they said it is a bad time. So that's what we're going to do. On the other hand, if it's a good time, I'll say, good. Let me take a quick minute. I'm going to tell you why I called, and then you can decide whether or not we should keep on talking. Does that sound fair? Again, we're picking out the bad stuff. We're not looking for shrimp here. We're looking for non-shrimp. And so the question is, we just want them to. We're going to take a minute. We're going to go through it. If for some reason they say, no, that doesn't sound good, just say thanks, bye. Okay. So assuming they said yes, we're going to move on. Well, we need to do that. Assuming they said yes, we're at here. You know what? I should just close some of these. Sorry. You don't need to get distracted by all this stuff. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, that's as good as we're going to get. So we're going to say, hi, I appreciate that. My name is Dan Wagner, and I'm with Ticking Coupons. Or in your case, you might say, I'm with whatever, and you'll say, or I'm presenting a great product called Ticking Coupons. You and I have never met, but restaurants typically bring us on because now I'm going to assume here that we're talking about restaurants. Restaurants, it's a great product for Ticking Coupons. If you want to just get out there and be able to start selling without doing much, go do some restaurants. So this is what we're going to do. So you and I have never met. Restaurants typically bring us on because either A, they're frustrated by the short-term benefit and a high cost of Groupon and the Groupon clones. Two, they're concerned that they're not getting enough warm bodies in the door during peak and during non-peak times. And number three, they're upset that they're not getting it found on the internet, and they feel like they're losing out on tons of potential new customers because we all know the internet's a great place to be or something like that. Now, I don't even know if you have any of those problems, and then you shut up. You just wait. But I don't even know if you have any of those problems. and just stand there, and or if you're on the phone, just let it just hang there. It's really hard sometimes. If you're like me, you like to fill in the uncomfortable silence. Don't do it. Okay? Just wait. And if it goes, too long, you might say, "Do you have any of those problems?" But otherwise, they're thinking. Okay? Let them think. They're trying to figure out. They're trying to decide whether or not they're going to open the door to you. Because what you're doing here is we're picking, either some people call it doctoring the wound, I call it picking the scab. We've just told them one of their problems for sure, and probably more than one. This is pretty universal for businesses, restaurants especially. Okay, so they're going to be one of those three. And what we've just said to them, though, is we understand your problem and we can help. And so, what are they going to say? They're going to say something like, "Oh, yeah, I've had some problems." Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so next thing we want to do is let them, once they say, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Now, we might go in and let them know that we understand Groupon. Maybe they'll say, "Yeah, oh, gee, yeah, we did Groupon. We got a bunch of people," and then the response to that is, "Yeah, but did they come back?" Or, "Yeah, but they didn't come back, did they?" Uh, One of the statistics we use, it was actually a statistic done by a CRM for salons in Great Britain that ran Groupons. And besides a bunch of other problems, and maybe we'll talk about those later, uh, the main problem was the return customer rate was less than 1%, about 1%, a little less, and that's horrible, obviously. You don't want to get a bunch of people coming in, and you're only getting 25% of the value of the deal. Now, if you don't know this, I'd love to show you a little graph here, but I'm just going to tell you really quickly. So say you're going to let's just do easy numbers. Say you're going to do a coupon with a Groupon with a value of $20, and which they probably won't let you do. So we'll say, let's say $40. So Groupon with a value of $40, and you're going to charge $20 for that Groupon. Groupon does all they sell the certificate for $40 to the user for $20, and then they give you $10. Okay, so you get 1/4 of the value of the price as a restaurant owner or a salon owner or whatever. Um, the other $10 goes to Groupon, and the other $20, the value between the $40 and the $20 they paid, obviously the customer gets that. Now it's great for the customer, and it's great for Groupon because they don't have to do anything. They just had to sell it to you and run uh, some computer program. What it's not good for is it's not good for the business because the business, they're only getting 25% of the value. What they typically sell for $40 is only getting $10, and customers never come back. And for salons, this is really the case. People can't get in. Their regular customers can't get in because so many people have bought the Groupons and are trying to get their $40 worth of hair color or perms or whatever for $10, and it's just a disaster for their loyal customers. So it's just not a pretty picture, and it takes maybe sometimes it takes a couple times to realize that. But um, most people that run Groupons do not run them twice. Okay, uh, not if they're smart. Okay, um, so here we're going to say we need to let them know that there's a right way of doing things. So they've talked about their pain a little bit, and you've let them know that you understand, that you've got a solution, and then you say something like this. Do you ever wonder why the best businesses do so well? Okay, do you ever wonder why some businesses have customers in good economies and bad? Do you ever wonder why some businesses have the kind of loyalty that money just can't buy, or maybe can buy it? And what you want to do is let them know that there's companies out there that are succeeding even in bad economies. And then you get to tell them why. Okay, so let's close this. Um, we have what's called the ACER model. And I've created that acronym so we can all remember it. And it just stands for attract, capture, engage, and retain. Okay? So let's look at attract. That's just basically advertising, whether it's billboards, newspapers, uh, radio, pay-per-click ads, and search engine optimization. We want to, get people seeing our offer. We call that the attract phase. Next is capture. Typically, we would do that in a fishbowl, and so you're telling this, you're going through this with them. And fishbowl on the counter is your typical capture. Some people can do it with text messaging and things like that, uh, but Groupon fails. So they attract, but what happens next is Groupon uh, does do capturing, but they don't capture it for your benefit, they capture it for their own. So after you go ahead and create a great uh, deal for Groupon's customers, Groupon takes all those new people that you've brought into their system and then sells them your competitor's deal. So it's good for Groupon. It's not good for you, the business owner. They'll figure this out quickly if you just tell them that. Sometimes they haven't figured it out yet, but Groupon's the person that's gathering all the information. Engage. Typically, we engage, businesses engage through use of newsletters. Also, social media now allows people to engage. And then finally, retain. We think of loyalty programs, your plastic cards or the cards on the end of your keychain or whatever, or online. Basically, buy 4 cups of coffee, another typo there, get the fifth one free or some kind of deal like that. So those are the 4 steps of effective marketing from front to back. So what you want to do is attract new customers, capture them, engage them, and then retain existing customers. So, and then engage existing customers, retain them. So basically, we want to capture new customers. We don't want to lose old customers, and that's what Ticking Coupons does. So here we say it takes all 4 to get customers and keep them coming back. Only Ticking Coupons does all 4. I'd love to show you this product. Is there a time that's available for you next week? That's the end of it. So I actually like to do this face to face. Bring a laptop or an iPad, and then launch into it. But this is the prospecting part. This is hooking them and getting them interested. And in the next video, we're going to talk about taking it to the next step. Thanks a lot. This is Dan. We'll talk to you soon.